Welcome to the Elevate Show. It really does feel good to be back. Zulu, did you miss me?
So much. We missed you. Karibu, Karibu. We missed you.
I was jealous. It looks like you were having a really good time and the audience was not letting you down as well. Walikuwa hapa na wewe kabisa mkinifanya nisikie kinyongo.
We were in your energy. We were representing you.
Oh, thank you so much. You've been well?
Very well.
Mkoje? Mko salama? Great. Lovely to have you on the show. Glad to be back. Today we look at a story that covers resilience, covers strength, unfathomable kind of strength. But we're also looking at this conversation from an angle where society has raised this conversation around having a single mother or where's your dad, are they present and all of that. But the role that the mother plays sometimes is not determined by whether there's somebody else, whether they're there every day or not every day, whether they show up or not show up. But the conversation today, we're just looking at, it does not mean that that is your recipe for what your life will look like. Because you can be in a two-parent home, but still. So why don't we talk about that, know? So we're looking at that role of a mom in your life.
And I think we also need to remember that sometimes the parent who tried hard becomes the most visible one and the most blamed one. The one who disappears into the dark appears innocent because we can't see them. So the one who actually absconded is not even pointed at. Nobody goes looking for them. Yeah. So the one who stayed there is one who given label, single mother.
Yeah.
But where is the absent father?
But she stayed. She is present. But then
instead of saying, we should change that term to present mother. That's the right term. Because that's the one who is present.
Absolutely.
And another thing in Africa that we don't like to admit is that many of us have had single mother situation whilst the mothers were married.
Oh, yeah.
The mother was the only one you could depend on. Kama ungetegemea baba ungekuwa hapa. Many of the fathers went to a very far away town and they were sending money and school fees.
Yeah.
There was no relationship. It was not even African for the African father to have a relationship with the children. Yeah. The person you heard stories in the kitchen who could tell your mood, you're breathing funny, who was taking you to clinic, who was checking how your school is performing, who was showing up mwalimu akitana kesho. Many times it was the mother.
Yes.
But instead of saying, Mom, you are a present mother, we say single mother. Why are we like that? We should clap and say you tried. This does not remove the fact that not every woman is innocent. We know some of them just make it impossible to have a collected family. But I usually say, yes, mom, when you go sowing your seed, be ready to stay there and cultivate whatever grows. Take care of whatever grows. Yeah. That is your seed. Children don't have a choice. And we were discussing the other day when people want to part ways and their children in between. We were reminding each other that you and me can find alternatives. These children can't find another mother, can't find another father. We should be considerate because of them. So the role of a mother for me, if you ask me, sometimes women are pouring from the empty. When you're raising a boy and a girl, Mikali, you must not raise them the same. In the name of equality, they are all my children, I love them the same.
Yeah.
If you parent like that, you lose the girl. Because women come to the world with a messaging of negativity and that you are less than, you are inferior. Yes. Women need to prove their worth to be given CEO. They need to prove their worth to be given the same job. Men are interviewing will you disappear to some maternity leave? Are you sure you are mood fluctuation? Are you sure you can handle men? Do you have the security to handle the kind of money? Will you fight with other female colleagues? What about your image? What about your mood?
Worse if you look good. You'll be taking all the men in the office.
Are you sure men will concentrate around you? No, it's the one being us, not them. Yeah. So when women find already a negative messaging, I will not tell the same message I'll tell my daughters, the same I'll tell to my sons. First of all, girls are coming with a lot of negative message. Number two, they have a very strong inner critic. Women overthink a lot. They criticize themselves a lot. They look down. They try to measure up. You don't need to criticize a woman. She's already criticizing herself.
That's true.
Next time you deal with a girl, be merciful. The inner voice in her is already beating her down. Takes a lot of growth. Am I right?
Yes.
Takes a lot of growth for a woman to stop putting herself down.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of growth.
That's true.
Nearly every woman I've met at a certain season of her life feels like her body is not good enough.
Yep.
Not tall enough. Not the right skin tone. Something. When you have nice anything, people stare to make it look funny. When you don't have it, they wonder where is it. When you have it, a woman cannot be correct in anything. When you have long hair, are you really African? Are you sure you're not half caste? What was your mother doing at the time you were born, by the way? When you don't have When you have anything, people label it wrong. And sometimes it starts at home. Your siblings, your mother, sometimes they just, and your eyes are so white. Do they have blood? Instead of saying you have sparkling eyes, your eyes are sparkling. Imagine you have very nice teeth. Are you really African?
You know?
Nobody tells you look pretty. Yeah. So women have a lot of inner critic and they find negative messaging. So if that girl grows without anybody, the role of a mother there was to help her overcome the way she overcame, to learn to believe herself, to learn confidence, to learn to speak up, to have confidence, to have to stand and occupy space on the earth. Yeah. That I'm not here for apology. I am not spice and sugar to come here to sweeten things and make people feel at ease. I'm here to be disruptive and slightly threatening.
Yes.
I'll tell my girl to be a little bit disturbing. To sometimes smile mischievously and don't explain. Just to give people something to think about. You know?
Yes.
So, but then sometimes you get into a lift and somebody's staring at you. You know, women have a very difficult life, yeah? Yeah. But they ask any woman you know, and they'll tell you they did the following things. That she has picked a fake phone call.
Yeah. Ooh.
That she has gotten out of a lift.
It's not a secret. I thought it was a meeting.
She got out of a lift before arriving. She wanted to get in. The person inside looks too suspicious. Yeah. She has hurried up, rounded a corner and ran. You know, she clutched the keys, ready, because some women are just objectified, sexually threatened. You know, by the time a woman is managing to get a child and she has fought those battles, the mother should teach the girl how she fought those battles, how she learned to lift herself and to hold her head held. Most women have dropped shoulders and retreated, even closing a hoodie, and they peep at the world. Do you know? I want my girl to lift her chest and look the world. And when you catch somebody staring you at the lift, stare back and start muttering things to yourself. as if you're casting a spell. If he stares at you, you do top down. Top down. No, not just, you know, women need survival. So when a mother gives birth to a daughter, she has already survived so long. Men arrive in the world being told they are the head, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have an audacity. Have you seen boys driving motorbike as if they have 10 lives that of a cat? As if they cannot die. You know, men arrive here with a daringness, testosterone, and you know, there's that messaging among men that when the sun is setting, chicken and girls are the ones going home. Boys are going out.
Yes.
You know, the man is out there in the cinemas. Yes. So the boys as well are out there. Yes. And they're hunting. It's like they're dogs. You know? So dogs and thieves and men out there yes. when the girls are at home. And they asked me the other day, why are girls maturing and boys are not maturing? They asked me at 25 or 27 age mates, girls is mature, the boys still boyish. And they tell them on a typical family day, who is at home, who is being mentored. By sunset, the mother and the girls are in the kitchen preparing meals and talking about life. Girls, that's you don't do this. When you do this, you do this. So they talk mentorship. Where are the boys? Cinema, playing game, manu, bazazazeno. There's not waiting for certain girl, you know, stopping girls on the road, I don't know, betting where, you know, watching pornography, and sorry. Sorry, I did not warn you. So sometimes it's the mentorship we lack. The mothers are there. So for me, the role of a mother to a daughter is so well defined because sometimes I fear when I remember that my girl may be out there, people stalking her, making her uncomfortable. You know, and so I want to teach more. The mother to a son. The role you need as a son is empathy, because you have more. Women have so much empathy that they become empaths more. They even become self-neglecting and enablers, and seeing too much potential, and you know, building men up. If today women withdrew their contribution in our lives, you realize many of us are not that smart. You know, you've been praising us. Hey, these guys are genius. If the wife withdrew, if the mother withdrew, the guy become nothing. Yeah. So that empathy was given to you to be nurturing. But sometimes you nurture the wrong people. You nurture crocodiles, you know. You nurture. So your role to your son is to teach him not to be so self-centered, not to be so reckless with life, not to be so egotistical, to listen. Many men just learn to listen without blowing up is a lot of work. To swallow their ego without choking. You know. Just tell them you can listen. Many men run when the conversation, tell them we need to talk. He won't come home. When you arrive, tell me. He won't come. Because he don't want, but if he tells you we need to talk, you are like, oh, I'm happy you're interested about our relationship.
Yes.
The woman says, if you have this conversation, it means you are interested in building.
Oh, that would be a good place to be.
You know,
yes.
The woman says, at least now you're allowing to express. Yeah. She will thank you before you even bring the subject.
Absolutely.
That you're concerned. That sometimes women have a lot of conversations, they're waiting for a moment. And when you bring the moment, finally.
Yes.
You go first and then I'll come. So I bring one topic, you bring 10. So a lot of time. So the role of a mother to a son is to teach them empathy, to teach them how to listen and how to teach them how to actually produce results in the world without expecting to be praised just for being male. To teach them how to be gentle, to protect women, to teach them how to be a priest, protector, provider, the 3P, that you can nurture a woman's spirit. You can provide security. You can protect the girl. And when you nourish the spirit of a girl, she give you the best love and softness, like flowery garden in your home. Many men run to go home because there's a right woman at home. Others avoid going home because they have not cultivated any relationship with the woman. Sometimes women give you what you give them. They really don't initiate. They just reflect back. You bring emptiness. What can she give you apart from the same emptiness? Even the right woman, I realize she gives back energy. When you choose the right woman, she will still reflect what you give her. So teach the boy that he should show love. If you want a woman to trust you, if you want her to be soft and girly, give her security. Never question your loyalty. Teach the boy that. That's the role of a healthy mother.
Absolutely. Let's give him a round of applause. You know, as I was preparing for this conversation, of course, I went through social media to just look at this person and the things they have done, the things that people have said about them. And it was heartbreaking to see what vlogs and blogs can say about you. But the one thing, I think it's not the one thing, there were so many things, because you can't say this man's name without thinking bold, without thinking daring, without thinking radical and relenting. The audacious Khalif Kairo, guys. Let's give him a round of applause. Welcome back to the Elevate Show. Like I said before the break, we have the audacious Khalif Kairo in the building. Karibu sana.
Asante.
It's lovely to have you on the show. And like I said, when we were thinking about having this conversation, there were so many angles to go with your story. Sijui tuingie business, tuingie scandals, tuingie warembo. Like there were so many things, but there were kulikuwa na very many angles, and of course we'll probably touch on all of them because they're part of your life, right? But kuna kitu moja to really stand out for me and the producer job is your mom comes up a lot. Wakikwambia scandal, kuna interview inaishanga kama mom mara kadhaa. And there are people who assume that dad is not in the picture, but you've made it clear a couple of times, dad has always been in the picture. But then there's a statement that you made that stood out for me, is that, like, guys, look, mnatupiga nini kwa sababu tuna succeed, na ni kwa sababu tunaongea juu ya mom. So mna expect mtoi mwenye wa single mama si do good in life. But pia kuna watu wengine wenye wako in like both family setups and they're not doing well. But the role of your mom in every set, was it set from the beginning, ama you kept picking up lessons as you went from primary, high school, to when you started your own businesses?
I think my mom comes out a lot because she's very resilient. Yeah, she's a fighter. Okay. Someone who's fought. She at one point she was very sick, and she was in a coma, and doctors were discussing, and they were saying she wouldn't make it, and she made it, to the shock of everyone. So I think I draw a lot of inspiration from her. Like I look at her, all the things she's gone through. Because we growing up, she didn't have a lot of money, and she put in a lot of work to ensure that we all went through school. And so watching her put in the work, she used to wake up at 5 and will shut down the shop at 11 or 10
p.m.
without fail.
Who will be cooking for you, checking your homework?
Sasa ni zile shop za ghetto.
Oh, nile duka mbele, nyumba nyuma.
Yeah, na atafua and she'll cook. I mean, she'll be a mom, atauzia watu. Alafu place tulikuwa tunaishi, you know, madonda watakam, watamsumbua, you know, makango wametoka kupiga mashots huko wanakuja kubai sijui masigara nini.
Yeah.
And atawapiga mabanta. And the next morning atakuamsha and she'll prepare you for school. So I mean, she's hardcore.
Really hard.
Yeah.
And I like that you pick up resilience from her life and all of that.
Yeah.
But when you look at probably the instances of her life, and I like that you picked out when she was in a coma and even in that state when nobody was expecting her to, you know, come back and, you know, full life and all of that.
Yes.
What are some of the things that probably in the different stages of your life, because there's a point, high school, umesomea, I think high school kama mbili hivi. Sijui ya kwanza ulitoka kwa sababu jisikii kuendelea na kusoma ama uko unataka kusoma, but you know, like you are a man being brought up by a woman. What are some of the things that you know for sure alikuwa anafanya different with you than with your sister?
Actually, I find it that my mom was very diplomatic with me, but she was some sort of Stalin with my sister. Oh. With me, actually, my sister complains like, no, but you've had it soft with mom.
Oh,
yeah. So I think with me, she was a bit more diplomatic, and I think with boys, you can't be very aggressive with boys. Sometimes I think there's a very thin balance you have to apply where you have to be you have to reason out. Because you see, as coach was saying over here, boys are very aggressive.
Yes.
So mkikuwa watu really aggressive, and you know women na feelings pia, it becomes mtakosana. So my mom actually there are points where my mom will say, you know what, you've been suspended from school, I'm not dealing with you, I'll call your father. And my dad will come and he'll be like, okay. Now my dad will reason. Him is a very diplomatic guy. So he'll be like, okay, look, you know you're pissing your mom off, don't do this. And so growing up, nikiwa mdogo, very tough, but towards my teens, she like toned down. Even to this day, there are things I do and my mom is like, look, that wasn't right, but you know, we can still talk it out. Okay. So I've seen her parenting change from very aggressive with my sister to like very diplomatic with me.
You.
Yeah.
Is there a thing to that, Zulu?
Sometimes women don't know how grown the boy is. They just know he's a man and she's not part of that world. I saw one mother walking the boy from school, and the boy was not focusing. He's trying to chase some lizard into the bush. You know, he's not focusing on the journey.
Yeah.
And the mother, so he keeps saying, you know, men don't do that. You know, men focus. You know, sometimes women struggle on how much of the man is already formed in him. It's a genuine insecurity. You are not meant to raise boys by yourself.
Okay.
What he has said usually appears very early at around age 5. So when you try to scream, if you're a screaming mother, the boy also screams through crying, and it becomes a screaming match.
Okay.
And you realize he's pushing back. You can intimidate the girl, but the boy kind of pushes boundary and pushes back. And when you become emotional, he switches off.
Yeah.
So he just, you rant, you feel invalidated because he's not even reacting.
Yeah.
He may just cry like you're crazy, eh? He's crying, but the message is no.
Yeah.
So it's a genuine insecurity. You were not meant to raise a boy alone.
By yourself, okay.
When you have to do it, you're also guessing.
That's true. So a man would know what to do.
Yes.
But Khalif, you got to a point, I think after school, and you decided, I'm not going to father, I just want to get into business. And what informed that particular decision for you? Because it feels like you knew this is the direction that I want to take with my life.
You know, because I knew in terms of education, from my perspective, I always wanted to do flying.
Okay.
So, but my mom could only afford to take me to a normal college. Okay. So, you know, and I just told her, look, no offense, but I feel, you see, this is not something I'm interested in. So it's like I'm wasting time showing up to class every day, and I don't like this thing. I simply don't.
Did she have like certain careers in the head for you?
No. One thing with my mom is she's very liberal.
Okay.
Yeah, she's very liberal in the sense that she's strict but liberal. She will never force you to do what you don't want to do.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll be like, okay, you decided you want to sell cars, okay, sawa. And history masomo, oh, you want to become a pilot. So what do you want to do about that? Okay, I'll go to school and I'll put some in flight school. And that's what happened, by the way. I used most of my money 2018, 2019 to pay for some of my flight school. And she actually chipped in a lot. Because, yeah, to take me to, because now it got to a point, her income also like increased. So she'd be like, okay, I'm happy that you put in effort. Yeah. Now that I've seen that you've made a step, you've paid maybe for ground school, yes. I'll pay for 10 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, even to until last year I finished.
Watu walikuwa nasema hiyo story ni kama si ukweli ni nene.
Niko usisikize.
Nisikize hao wase. So ulimaliza. Tuko na makaratasi.
You know like you know there are things even my mom sees online. Hata anacheka ananiambia. Watu
wanakujua kweli.
Do they know me? Because like, remember like there was one time alikulanga chama. Aha. Yote akalipa fee. Oh. Yeah. Because flying is expensive, yeah. Wow. Yote akaniambia ni aje.
Wechukua hii wende. Yeah. So ukaanza 2014 kuuza magari.
Yes.
Solo ama with like another company?
No, nilianzanga, I finished high school in 2014, November. Nakumbukanga poa, it was on 5th. It was on my birthday. That's when I finished high school. And I started selling cars the same, like I started, mtu anazanga kwanza na kubroker. Yes. WhatsApp. Kuna boys fulani anauza Subaru, unaiweka Facebook. Actually, that Facebook post is still there on my profile. Yeah. Ya Subaru ya black. So unaanza hivyo, but the first ever job I did actually, I was a waiter. I was a waiter and like it was a small bakery. Still there, it's called Moody Cakes. Support them. so those guys, so I worked there for 30 days. Yeah. I was earning 300 shillings a day. Whoa. The first 9K I made, nikaingia driving school. I was telling my mom, look, you know, these car selling gig, kuna venye nakanika kuna nini. But the guy who was connecting me with that job, alikuwa ananiambia, at least you need a driving license. Yes. You can't just wake up and start looking for a job. Fresh from high school, at least have a skill. Yeah. So the first skill I got was, was a driver's license. Okay. Which I paid like 9K. Again, my mom topped me up and my dad pia. I was like, okay. Uko na 9K, sawa tutakuongezea.
Yaani ulianza kujita at that age surely ilikuwa tu unapatiwa kila kitu, it was a hand to mouth from the parents to you. Yeah. And so you start selling cars and I think by the time we really hear about Khalif Kairo, mimi wacha mimi jongelele. I remember this post. I think it was during COVID. Yeah. There was an X-Trail car that had a sunroof. It was an oldish model, but it was really nice. Interior ilikuwa nzuri, na ilikuwa na sunroof. And you were inside and you did the video and then you got out of the car and you know, that was the first time I experienced what you do and how impactful it is, how you sell. And I think shortly after that, before that, there was a scandal. And you'd grown a business, but then saizi umeingia kwa dunia na watu wanajua sijui nani mtu mbaya, nani mtu mzuri, and having to start understanding that and start from scratch. What was happening around that time?
2020, COVID, I did something most people in business do. You know, the first time you have to start a company, you're going to be scared. Yeah. So what happens is you have to go into a partnership. What people don't understand about partnerships in business, they're like marriage to a certain extent. Okay. Okay. Well, I've never been married, but...
Ngoja. Mimi niko na nini? Niko na information. Sijafika hapo bado. Lakini tuendelee. That's okay.
So, yeah, so let me just say, you know, now looking back in retrospect, let me just say with my partners at that point, we had a clash of personalities. Okay. Because I have my own personality. You know, people can describe it the way they describe it, and sometimes my personality, it may not be what someone else likes. Yeah. So that business didn't last long. In 2022, we parted ways. Okay. So my current company, I started it alone in 2022. Yes. Yeah. So 2022. Again, there was a scandal about that. Yeah. You know, those guys were like, angalia, you know, kumbe hata kampuni si yake. People really enjoy throwing stones.
We know everything about you. I don't think you know you.
Yeah. Guys are like, angalia nini. So I was like, okay. So, hiyo imeisha. And we started afresh. Yeah. And here we are. Again, last year we had a few issues, which again, we've sorted most of them. And we are still moving.
But what is it? Let me tell you. I think I took screenshots of things that I have. Msijaribu kunijudge. So I think I will share this with probably for edits later if allowed. So this conman.
Oh yeah.
You see?
Yeah,
like so there's that, and then you go ahead, genius stroke psycho. Like, you know, like it doesn't, and then beaten like a dog.
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
like there are these scandalous things that are being said about you, some truth, some not.
Yeah, yeah.
But you as a person, as resilient as you are, kuniambia ingii mahali, na kama inaingia, how have you probably over time been able to build a thick skin?
You see, it goes back to how I was brought up.
Yeah.
You see, mi ni kijana wa ghetto. I literally, mi ni mtu nimezaliwa Kawangware.
Yeah.
As in, mi Ungwaro naweza ingia anywhere. Tell me the worst place in Kawangware, Muslim, Congo, wapi, I'll go. Yeah. So if nime grow up Kawangware, yeah. I've seen friends getting killed, I've seen thieves getting burnt. You don't tell me that one post on Twitter is going to make me sad.
Yeah.
I mean, so you talk, call me a thief, call me a conman, it's fine. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, there are three people, there are three entities you can never lie to.
Okay.
God, the devil, and yourself. People can call you a thief, people can call you an angel. Mm-hmm. But we mwenyewe, we ndo unajua. We ndo unajua nini ulifanya, unajua what you were supposed to do, what you didn't do. Once you make peace with yourself and God, haizingine ni story.
But then what gives you the drive to keep rising again? You know, like, imeenda chini, nime lose, nimeanzisha ingine, scandals, niko kotini, left, right, center, tunakuongea kila siku. What would you say keeps you going or keeps making you rise up again from the ashes?
God.
Well, ashes, oh, fantastic.
It's always God. Yeah. Me always, every time I go through something bad, and I'll call my pastor, and the first question I normally ask, tuko na Mungu?
Wait,
that's the first
question. Uko na line ya pastor directly?
Yes, I call.
Okay.
Mi napiganga and I pray. I call. And nikiona imeenda south, me I call. I don't wait for Sunday. Mbea bana pasi waze pressure kuko hivi na hivi. Tuombe. Do you feel like tuko na Mungu kwa hii situation? If I feel that unajua kiambo ni aje, hapa pia wewe kuna umeenda off. Omba, repent, and then tuombe you feel, you know, once you pray and you feel that okay, mambo iko fiti, then you know, let God to handle. Because there are so many things in this, you know, there are so many powers that play in this earth, and there's as much as you can do. Yeah. You understand? So first thing, you have to make peace with yourself. Like let me give you a very good example. You run a business in town. Yeah. Umepiga marketing, umeka posters Facebook, but you've only gotten 2 clients. Landlord amekwambia mwisho wa mwezi tunafunga hii shop. Now, wewe umefanya part yako. You prayed. Yeah. Hijajipa. Na what else do you do? Do you die?
No.
Sasa si unaachia Mungu. Naambia Mungu cheki. Sasa hapa, me I did my part. Sasa wewe fanya yako. And you just let it.
Yeah. And, you know, there's things that are open to, there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. But you've been very vocal about the kind of people that you let into your business, you know, that you've faced betrayal from people that you've strongly trusted, given opportunities, given them a job, you know, their livelihood, what they eat, where they live, what they drive, like you have played a huge part in those lives. But then those people have gone ahead and, you know,
betrayed you. Yeah.
How do you deal with that, you as a person?
It's expected.
It's expected?
Yes.
But
you see, one thing you need to separate, you need to understand about people. Okay. So that don't have high expectations on people.
Aha.
You don't,
so they're going to let you down.
Yeah. So like, Kitambo, let me just divulge a bit about, for example, about relationships. Yeah. They say the moment you understand female nature and how women like operate and how people generally operate, you will have less expectations about them, and it becomes easier to deal with people. So nothing comes as a surprise. You understand? Yeah. I know even today, there are people I will help. I'm very sure, kuna watu ndasaidia wengi, and some of them will still betray me. So even if it comes, itakuwa ile like, okay, it was bound to come. Yeah. You understand? So you don't put a lot of expectations on people. Then the moment you understand human psychology and human behavior, it won't bring you down. But the moment you leave this world expecting that everybody sees the world through your lens, you're in a lot of trouble. You'll end up depressed. Yeah. Because you'll be like, ai, manze anaweza nifanyaje hivyo. You know? But wewe unajiuliza hivyo cause unaangalia hii kitu from your own perspective. Toka kwa perspective yako. Look at it from a neutral perspective. Wewe uko unamsaidia, maybe yeye kwa kichwa yake anaona unamtumia. You see? So the moment you start weighing both, you're like, okay, sawa. Me, I did my part.
Yeah.
Again, we leave it to God to judge.
Yeah. And now when you probably have to put up a new, what is it called? Like probably business or people together. What are some of the things that probably you learned that you probably look out for? Because, I mean, we can't keep changing probably the people. Well, you can, but you would want probably sustainability, longevity, people who carry on the vision and the mission of the business.
There's something I saw. I saw this thing on Instagram or somewhere, and a guy said, if you want to know who you can trust with or someone you can't trust, observe how he treats their spouse or their wife or their husband.
Okay.
If you want to do business with someone, na kuna vitu anafanyia partner wake, the one they share a bed with, unaona maybe ana cheat, anafanya very evil things, then you also have to really think through, because this is a person this is a person they are one. So if he's able to do those things to the person that they live with, the person that they share a bed with, wewe unafikiria atakufanyia nini?
Kweli, na hata amshe hiyo kitanda.
So just observe that. Just observe that. Because Kitambo never used to understand why, especially Wazungus. Wazungus are very heavy on like relationships. Like he cheated. Like I never used to get it. But nilikuja kuelewa sometimes how you treat your partner will also translate to how you do business. Kama mtu ni mkora hata na vitu ndogo ndogo. You know, even like let's say kutoka tao kuenda kutoka like let's say nikutumie uende weke gari mafuta. Najua inafaa kuingia 10 liters but ikujimingia 8 liters. You mean then mtu akishaanza kukuchezea those games. This is what I've seen from employees. Like, let me give you a quick story. Like I had one member of staff and this chick was always inflating things. You know, like inflating, like tent ni 100k event, but yeye anatuma invoice ya 120. So hiyo time nilikuwa naonanga bedhe ni upuzi, but
ni sawa tu.
Let me tell you. When my things started going south, like this was one person who played one of the biggest roles. I'm talking about later on, sasa in retrospect, now clients are calling, they're like, hey, Pole, you know, we had all this wrong, Pole, tuliinsaitiwa, tuliambu umefanya hivi na hivi. But you see, the warning signs were there.
From this person in your own company?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the people who mess you up are always up. But God doesn't let it happen without giving you warnings. The warnings are always there. Ni venye, at times in our being human, apana lakini maybe ni mimi na overreact. No, you're not overreacting. You saw it.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Unajua tukiendelea na history kabla job arudi atuambie ile kitu ya hivi. Before I rope in Zulu, of course we'd like to chime into the relationship because you've lived your life transparent. Like well, the bits and pieces that you've wanted us to see.
Yeah.
And we've seen you in love.
Yeah.
We've seen you we've seen you love hard. We've seen them end. We've seen you in love again. And probably these are the two relationships that we know really. Sijui kama kuna zingine ama kuna zingine. Kuna zingine mnajua. Mbona mkunipatia information before? Ni hii kona ndio mnajua ama ni ile kona? Ni hii kona. Kuna zingine kweli. Mko sure msemi na nini na chest. So tunaenda na hizo mbili for now. You know, in those relationships and zilikuwa zinaenda and like any other relationship. I think everything that you've gone through happens to people who are not in the limelight. But then we don't talk about them. They do not get conman statuses and captions and all of that.
Yes.
But you lived in the limelight and you showed us what you're doing, who you're loving, and how you're loving them. And then that ended. And then things happened where you're in court now, money, you're being called all these names, but we couldn't see them with you at that time. And most people went like, unaona? Unaona? Ukisambaratika pia wawana? You know, and was that really the case? What happened, especially with the last relationship that probably is because Menda's kifuatana na hizo events?
No, this is something I keep on saying in every single interview that I normally go to. Like one of the hardest things for me in terms of keeping relationships, and this is a pattern that keeps on repeating itself, is the fact that running two companies and still balancing a relationship is crazy. Sometimes getting that partner who's able to understand. Ni kama kuwa bibi ya pasta. Nimeangalia hivyo bebe.
Watoto ni wengi, wafuasi, watu wanakuita mamu wote.
Yes. Yeah. You know that ministry inakuanga ngumu. Because you need to have a partner. Mtu amefukuzwa na bibi Monina. Na yeye ni aje pasi niombe, you know like. Yeah. So running a company sometimes iko hivyo. Yeah. Like hata sasa nikigoja interview ianze, bado kuna pressure una control. Yeah. You understand? Yeah. So sometimes when you have a partner, kuna kwanga na element ya you're always at work, you're always doing your thing, you know. So for me, it always messes me up with relationships. And like, even before these things blew, even my last relationship, like Khalif Kamali, I was undergoing so much stress. Yeah. And we like had a mutual agreement. You know what, like, because on one side I'm like, if I tell you the problems I'm going through, I'm going to infect you with the challenges I'm going through. So Evita, let me fight it. Win, then sasa mambo ikitulia, then maybe we can sijasema nini inaweza ona kwa gazeti kesho, inaweza katwa. Basically nilijipatia time, like kuna time tu nilikaa chini bedhe and I decided for X amount of time I'm not going into any relationship. I'm just going to focus on my work, on my companies, and then when God gives me a certain milestone that I've been trying to get to, then maybe I'll be ready for marriage. Because me, I'm not one guy who's just out here to date. For me, it has to be very strategic. I need to date someone, okay, udem analeta value gani? Na si value story ya do, support.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Kuni misha tu hapo ni support peke yake.
Hapana, no support.
Watu wanangojea hiyo.
Your list. Okay.
Wako patient watangojea ukiwa ready.
Hapana, no. Normally mimi naambianga kitambo I used to have a list. Anafaa kuwa hivi, sio anafaa kuaje. But nowadays when I pray to God for marriage, I always tell God, look, give me someone who's not going to interfere with the destiny that you put in me. Because I've realized it's like ni kama socket. It can be a very good plug, but there's a socket it won't fit. Not that this person is bad, because I've been in relationships before and with very amazing women, but now, your time, I look back, I realize, bebe, udema kwa mbaya. We were just incompatible. Like, utojo tulikuwa tunanika, tunachukiana, nini. But now after mmeachana, umekaka, that's when you start looking back, una realize, bebe, pia unakuanga na hii shida. Bebe, we kwanza we uko na hii issue. Then pia unaangalia unaona, udem, the only problem was, she's very good, but maybe she's not meant for somebody with the sort of issues you have. So wewe na hizi issues zako, you need someone who anakaa hivi na hivi. So I normally tell God, mimi nitafutie tu mtu mwenye hata interfere na destiny yangu. Because unaweza pata dem, bambike, mpendane sana, but ushinde kufikia whatever God had put in for you.
Zulu.
I think there's something about Khalif that keeps being ignored. Yes. And if you don't mind me asking, bro, how old are you?
28.
How many 28-year-olds in Kenya have tried the number of things he has tried?
I'll wait.
People keep talking like they're talking about a 48-year-old.
Yeah, that's true.
Some of the 60-year-old writing about him. Them and their ancestors.
Hakuna mmoja.
They have never tried this number of things.
Yeah.
Me, I congratulate him for making his mistakes young.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Some people, they'll find themselves at that five. That's when they'll stop clubbing and to try and be pushed out of the house by their fathers. Yes. To try and go put up in a babysitter.
Oh, for 35.
Ipunguza kidogo.
Anatoshea wapi?
So, bro, everything held constant, man. You've tried things when you're young.
Yeah.
I just want to ask you one thing. Have that flexibility nimekusikia nayo.
Yeah.
Kwamba I can be corrected na nichukue correction.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The only disaster for men is when you can't learn.
Yeah.
The Bible says, woe to that king who cannot be corrected. Yes. When you can be admonished, you can be molded when you're young. Time is the determiner of everything. This guy still has 30 years of strength. Yeah. Untouched. Clean slate. He might as well migrate to Rwanda and start from zero. You know?
Right?
You know?
Yes.
So, before you throw stones, ask yourself, do you stand the chances this guy has? He has collected many lessons.
Absolutely.
When I saw him before, he was even that these people start throwing stones or things went south, I told my wife, I admire the young men who can attempt this daringly when they're this young. Yeah. However the attempt goes, you learn.
Yeah.
However the business behaves, you are better for the attempt. Actually, failure is not real until you accept it. Failure is not real until you accept it.
Yeah.
Ukisema it was just a lesson, it's not a failure then.
Yeah.
So for me, I want to encourage those young men in the age of my brother here. Don't look at somebody being roasted publicly, then you retreat. You stop your attempt. Many of you have ideas here and you have been saying, what if I get roasted? That is a real risk.
Yes.
One thing I know he has learned, he may not tell you now, he's waiting for you to see through actions, is that he will show less. Because he has fans and he also have enemies. And all of them are tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
Ask the antelope. He'll tell you every follower is not always a fan. Some are trying to eat you.
Yes.
You know, for me, Mwikali, I want to encourage young men, come here to learn. They say a fool watches another person's failure to laugh. A wise person watches another person's failure to learn. And say, there but for grace go I. I'm glad you showed me what does not work, so that I correct.
Yeah.
Today we have these LED lights. Edison did not invent the LED light. He invented an element that was burning.
Yeah.
Today we owe him credit to the advanced lights. Although he made 1,000 mistakes and did not call them mistakes. Yeah. He said, I've just found 1,000 ways that does not work. This guy has 1,000 ways that don't work.
Yeah.
His business strategies right now and his courage to even appear on shows, and he's not flinching.
No.
Bro, I just hope that you continue trying and that in about 10 years, you'll be that mogul they'll be ashamed to have talked about.
Absolutely.
And they said, you know, they have to publish about a person who's known for the gossip gathering media to trend. If they write a nobody will read. So they have to capture the Khalif Kairo and put the scandalous.
Wait.
And when they say the genius versus psycho, I said, that's the same discussion for Elon Musk. Many people call him a psycho.
Yes.
This guy shares something Elon Musk. Somebody came and asked Tesla, that guy in a Tesla investors, why should I buy Tesla shares? That's so expensive, more than a Mercedes-Benz. Why don't you reduce the price? Would you convince me? Elon said, imagine I feel you. I've been asking people to stop buying Tesla shares. They're too expensive. They should buy Audi, they should buy Mercedes. But somehow they keep disobeying me and buying. So,
I'm sorry.
That was the answer. Is that polite? So you keep looking, calling him psycho.
Yeah.
There's a confidence that borders on arrogance that you need in order to go anywhere in this world.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying be proud of it. I'm just saying don't let these critics who stand in front of you. You are expensive. Convince me to buy from you. Why should I convince you? Yeah. If you don't feel convinced to buy from me, you are not my customer. Yeah. To encourage young people, go on and try. Go on and attempt. When it comes to relationships, let me close with this. Relationships are unrealized goals, okay? Yeah. They are an incubation for marriage. Just the same way a chicken wouldn't broadcast where it is brooding its eggs, try to hide where you are brooding your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Oof. Okay. So that whatever rots does not hatch, the world will not know. They'll just see what hatches. And they'll see you, the chicks out there. Oh, wow, Lily. But they don't know what was left there. Yeah. Learn from chicken and brood in secret. Yeah. So that what does not hatch, you don't get mocked for it. Yeah. You went there with 20 eggs, only 5 hatched. And they say, oh, 5 young. Go and do your attempts and brooding in private, in hiding. Yeah. Take your losses in private. Take your embarrassments in private. Take your shame in private. Your heartbreaks in private. Stop crying on TikTok. You know, people are putting a camera to cry. So you take your time to cry. So don't stream while crying. Go cry. Go cry in front of the person who cares. Out here, people don't care.
That's true, they don't.
So don't look for trending. As you trend, among those who are following are those who are carrying spears to kill you. Yes. Israelites were running and they knew somebody was following them. Yeah. I want you to shock people when you come out with the fruits. Yeah. All right? I see women when they get pregnant, they have this baby bump, they remove their clothes, they're taking photos. I'm saying, okay, good for you. But I'm just saying, not everybody seeing is admiring. Yeah. Some are carrying the photo to go to somebody to shake, the feather. Shake the feather and say, you know. You know? And others even right there shamefully, katakufa too. And you're just discussing shamelessly. You're discussing your baby. Baby angel, katakufa too. So just to tell you, those small babies that you are nursing in terms of relationships, try to keep them down key when it is already achieved and accomplished and beyond. When you're no longer shakeable now. And it is necessary to step forward. That now you bring it forward.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness. You know, I'm eager. You're out of court now, and una breathe huku. And it's getting the same reactions as Zulu was saying. We're celebrating something, someone else is just, you know, praying and spreading doom around it. But I would just like to probably find out from you once we come back from the break, like what are some of the lessons that you've learned that probably moving into the next phase of life, you are probably going to do better, like mistakes that you know mimi hapo nilikosea. Right? We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have that answered by Khalif and also open up the floor for the audience to ask him questions. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, sure.
We'll be
Must
right
be fun.
We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back to the Elevate Show. And the conversations happening during the breaks are also very, very interesting. We'll see if we can just pull him to tell us a bit more during the show. But the question we're asking you today is, who has been the biggest influence in your success story and why? Who has been the biggest influence in your success story and why? Okay? On all our social media platforms, NTV Kenya, indulge us, let us know what you think. Share your story with us. We'll be glad to read and share. And if you want to share your story as well, our email is right here. Write to us and we'll have you on the show. Khalif, hatuko kotini. Now, you were the first person to let the world know. Twitter immediately, ukaandika.
No, I had to because when I was in court, some were even coming to the police station to record. You know, I mean, you know, this is my reputation we're talking about. Reputation, even the 48 laws of power in Asemanga guard that reputation by everything. So this was my reputation at stake. And I had to notify people that, look, we've been actually, you know, court is not that bad. Civil ni, you know, biashara kawaida. But now
criminal wewe na watu wamepigana mapanga huku nje
mko same.
But that's not the truth.
Yeah, but you see, those are very serious allegations, and they've costed me and the company a lot. At one point, we even had a race in the US that was put on hold. Yeah, we were raising money from investors in the US, and they said, look, you know, the Securities Exchange Commission, which is the regulatory body in the US, when they see these things and you're raising money in the US, this is going to get us in trouble, and you in trouble with the feds. So it was bad, and I mean, I had to tell people, look, we've sorted these things.
And you're doing it transparent because we'd see the numbers as they trickle in and all of that. Okay. So some of the lessons that you have learned that you know for sure hapa, mimi ndio nilikuwa ningefikiria tu hivi kidogo ama ningechangement tu hivi kidogo pengine vitu zingeenda venye zilienda.
In a company controls everything. Controls, like you need to have controls. If you trust people too much, they're going to mess you up. So I've realized that the best companies on earth have the tightest controls. If you have a proper way of doing things and you have checks and balances, some things don't happen. Because when a company scales, you always need to prepare. And this is, in my case, I think I didn't really prepare for this. There's a level that gets and a company will outgrow you. So you can't micromanage. So what keeps a company going when you start transitioning to that level? It's controls, checks and balances, that today, if you, God forbid, you died, tomorrow things will still move. Hakuna mtu ajue umesikia, bosi yako kwa ngori anaweza enda mahali withdraw 10 billion kwa account here. So you need to have those proper controls. Something else I think, and Nani has mentioned it, Coach Benjamin. I call him Coach because I watch his content. So he's also talked about you need to be very careful with the information you disclose. And in my opinion, and in my position, Pia, you can't engage everybody. One of the critical mistakes I made is that sometimes you can't keep engaging everybody. There are people who have bad energy, and they just seek to transmit this bad energy. So atakuja kuite, when ni conman, when ni unauzanga madawa, ukianza kujidefend, mi si conman, angalia we are good people, you're messing it up. Let them talk. Usitake ku-interfere na hiyo energy. Because the moment umekuwa infected na hiyo energy, now bad things start to follow you. In the spiritual realm, umepeana access. So you have to be very, very careful with who you give access to. And number three is now from a business perspective, be very careful with growth. Growth kills companies, unfortunately. If you grow too fast, it's like war.
Yeah.
Picture a front line, a 10-kilometer front line. You have maybe companies of 20 soldiers manning certain positions along the front line.
Yeah.
If you stretch this front line and start attacking from all directions, you'll have to stretch your soldiers very thin.
Yes.
Which means if the enemy makes an attack, they're able to break through your defenses very easily. So I sometimes visualize business as well. So sometimes you'd rather have a front line that is strong enough.
Okay.
And when I say attacks in business, I mean a cancelled order.
Yeah.
You know, a cancelled order, maybe a downturn in business. So kuna those elements.
Yeah.
And I think last one is if you're in business, anything political, stay
away.
clear. You're like, don't. Just, this is now to the people who follow me. Don't.
Yeah.
Keep your opinions to yourself.
Is this aligned to your stand on?
I'm
You're
just
not going there.
I'm not even. But I'm just, because people will, you know, people who are going to watch this and will take lessons.
Yeah.
Those two things don't mix very well, and I borrow a lot from Elon.
Yeah.
It also costed him. There was a time the Tesla share dropped to very crazy levels, and even shareholders were not happy.
Yeah.
And when you looked at the spat like they had with the president, and you start seeing those, you start seeing the correlation. So, so you learn. So I've also had my own painful lessons, and I've realized if you're in business, stay very neutral. Do business.
Just do business.
Hi. If you want to change the world, you can do it from a business perspective. You can empower people. You can do whatever you want to do, but don't be too loud. Just maintain. Don't make a lot of enemies, because business is very sensitive. I've come to realize that everything, especially matters law.
Yeah.
There's a lot of there's always an element of politics. Even the decisions sometimes that are done at very high places.
Yeah.
So to avoid being exposed, you need to be politically aligned. Just do your thing. If God gives you that calling, then
get into it.
Leave your business,
put
it in the hands of somebody capable, and then pursue these other callings. Okay. But don't mix the two.
All right. Tumechukua lessons, tuko na maswali.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Gloria. I have a question to Khalif. I think hapo nyuma you said something about your relationship. Kuna point umesema you're under stress and will decide you can't continue with the relationship or something like that. So my question is, if that's the case, ulifika in a tough spot, let me say that, and then ukaona you don't want to share it with your partner or something like that. Is it because because in most cases, most men I interact with, they're always like, if I share a problem with a female or my partner or so, it's like my masculine points zitashuka manini.
Gangster boy.
So was it about that ama what was it about? Plus mbona mnaonanga ni kama, because for a partner mimi I believe
tumekujiwa.
Tuweke hiyo straight swali ndio tupatie watu wengine chance.
So like, is it that mnajaribunge ku protect the feelings of your partners ama ni nini about you not sharing things with the partners?
Good question. Now, I'll answer your question based on my own experience. I've come to realize that women and men are distinct. We are very different. Men, in my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, a man is supposed to protect and to provide and to offer leadership. The moment you are unable to do those things sufficiently, women are wired not to submit very well in many cases. I don't want to put it as a blanket thing. So the moment you again accept this as a man, the better it is for you. When you go into relationships, you will go with that attitude of that I always need to be on point. Like I can't mess this thing up. So mimi naingianga relationships, unfortunately, na hiyo attitude. I'm always with the attitude that, look, much as I have a partner here, there are things that I cannot compromise on. So sometimes when I find myself in very, very difficult situations, I'm the sort of man who will be like, look, me too, let me just say the way I'm wired. I'm not a guy who just will come and say, hey, babe, sasa, hey, apa, hey, manze tava nini, I'm crying. No. me, I'm not built like that. Me najua
maman. Nakuambia kulienda hivi, solution ndio hii nimefanya.
Cheki, iko hivi, kuna ngori, DCI wanakam kesho. Sawa? Enda kwa madhe, mimi watanipata kwa hao, niko ready. Sawa? Poa. Babe umefanya, we tulia tu ndakupanga, but we ndakupanga. So okay. So I think mimi venye alafu some of these attitudes for me it comes from a point in prior relationships. So you could call it a trauma mechanism where I've opened up to partners and seen the disrespect coming. So that's a mimi nakufanga tu na shida.
It's because they were girlfriends. It's because they were girlfriends. So I want you to know, my brother, in your next life, get a wife. The difference between a wife and a girlfriend is the difference in purchasing a Mercedes-Benz and getting a ride in a Mercedes-Benz. So he was giving girls rides. They were here for a ride. When it gets bumpy, they get out. Excuse me, I was here for enjoyment. You know, girlfriend is about romance and enjoyment. You only evaluate how sexy she is, how the vibe it is. But when you interview for wife and you are interviewing his husband, you look for virtuous woman. Who in Proverbs that one herself can buy land, herself can negotiate, herself can hire staff, herself can cover you. Because of her, you are honored. Because of her. When she shows up, wanakuheshimu na hauko. Yeye mwenyewe ananunua, ana-import. She's importing linen and she's doing business. That woman, hata ukiwa chini, she can stand.
Yes.
There was a time I got a road incident and I was scared. You know those, you're shaken.
Na useme si wengi.
There are few, thank you.
There are few.
And then when I tell my girl, hey, some of these motorbike guys, you know, they can lynch you.
Yes.
True.
They will hit you, one of them will hit you, then they come out.
Yes.
You really need to think as you are shaken.
Because
if you're trying to be diplomatic, let's solve it, they'll touch your car. So when I told my wife that, and I was thinking she was panicking, she took her car and followed me. Let me come there. That's a wife. That's not a girlfriend.
No.
Wewe si nikwambia gaende shange bwana sasa unaona sasa nitambia watu yaje ukianza kutrend sasa nitapitia wapi. That's how a girlfriend would have reacted. But a woman says, they're trying to touch my man.
Let me come.
No, I will be there. I start fearing for her.
But
just to tell you that my brother, your experience was traumatic because you were also very young. I encourage young men to start dating from 27 and saying you're tayari. To take time and develop themselves. So Mikali, I think that was it was inevitable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. We'll have a question, Catherine.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
This is Mrembo Mcheshi Kananu Catherine. Khalif Kairo, congratulations for studying tall, and even when things were going south, you stood tall and you did not give up. And then thumbs up for acknowledging your mom. That's very nice. Now my question to you is, what role has your sister played in your life, in your success, in your everything? Has she supported you in any way?
Let me tell you, my sister, my sister is older than me. So she's always been very protective of me. Even at Asai, my sister is somebody who at one point went to the bank, withdrew all her savings. Told me, here's the money. Go sort. I know you'll pay me back.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? The virtuous women?
That's my sister. Kaniambia, take this and sort, you'll pay me back. So we've had, like, we normally look out for one another.
Okay. Great. Catherine, great question. Yes.
Hello, Khalif. My name is Boniface Mlinge. And your story, virtuous women. Now my question is, since uko kwa car industry, seme like your mom amekusupport, your sister alitoa do zake zote, akakusupport. Now uko na girlfriend. No, tumeambiwa angalia a wife. So tuseme uko na gari mpya umenunua. Nani atakaa kwa kiti ya kwanza?
I see you. Great question.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's actually going to be the girl, and I'll tell you the reason why. My mom is very, like, you've ever seen those ladies who don't interfere. Hakuna girlfriend yangu exes anaweza kwambia ati Mama Kairo amaini call kuniambia. Yeye anakuanga hands off. So hata even when I'm driving around, she'll always be like, let me just sit at the back. I'm like, wanu utaika na mimi? Ndio nipigwe picha nijipate TikTok. I'll just sit at the back. So for her,
jameni.
She's always like, pana, mimi sikae na wewe mbele.
Acha nijifiche.
Okay. Mwikali, to answer that question. Yes. I noticed that habit with my wife that whenever my mom is around, she will happily sit at the back. Saying your mom is not always here and she may want a few stories. Si tukimpeleka tutarudi na wewe. So hii swali yani wapi ataketi, none of the seats in the car is special. It's the seat in my heart that matters.
Ooh. Jameni Zulu. My life.
Sometimes tunamweka pale mbele juu ni mama mkongwe. Ajatoshea vizuri zingine ziko uncomfortable. Ama my wife is breastfeeding na watoto wakalishangu mbele. So hiyo example ya kiti ilizeeka kitambo. Tusemeni, how much do you value me in your life?
Okay, I like that.
And kama tulikuwa njiani tukiwa wawili alafu me and my mother tukachukua my wife njiani nikasimama. Nikisimama ataanza ku exchange. Mama atoke arrange huyu aketi ya kiti. So it's all about how much. If you have the first seat in my heart, tutampea hiyo gari aende naye tubaki na wewe tukijienjoy. Yes.
I'm being told our time is up. There's a lady who raised 2 hands. I'd like to give her a chance before to check out. Wait, Alvin, I can on the microphone.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Mwikali. Khalif Kairo, my name is Brenda, and I want to big up your mom for raising a man that you are today. And congratulations for the far that you've gone. Okay, I'll go straight to the point. My question is, what to advise the do's, any 2 do's and don'ts can you give to the upcoming Khalif Kairos, the young CEOs coming up, retailing between business and relationship, especially being an influencer? What can you tell them to do and what not to do, especially through what you've gone through, so that they can become successful in future?
Okay. Very good question. My biggest regret in life is that I never had a very tight relationship with God from a very early age. That's my biggest regret. Because partly the reason I've been able to survive this whole chaos is because I have a tight relationship with God. If it wasn't for God, atungekuwa hapa. But now my biggest regret in life is, why didn't I know this when you were 19? You know, like I was chasing all, you know when you're 19 and a young man, unaenda club, you seen guys wanaletewa mzinga na manini. Yes, you know the ladies do it in the club and they hype and you're like, man, I wish I was that guy, you know. But growing up I realized it's all vanity. You see, I wish I knew that at that age. And then I wish I knew that blessings, all the wealth in the world is owned by God. So you don't have to do anything crazy. Just align with God. Let God take you at his own pace. Because if you grow too fast and if you become too aggressive and forget about God, even this wealth can kill you. You're going to go buy that Ferrari, utaingia chini ya lori. Why? Because even mentally, huku umemachua, you couldn't handle the blessing. So first align with God. That's other relationships the same. Don't go for the baddest buddy for bonga points, you know. Just now tell God, look, bring somebody who aligns with your purpose in my life. Because even the Bible says in Proverbs that money, wealth, bling bling, okay, bling bling I made up, comes, those ones parents can give you. Parents can give you all those nice things, but a good wife comes from
God. Yeah. No, I think it's the way you've answered that question. It actually felt like a final parting shot of some way, and I love that God has also been as consistent as Mom has been in your life. And I don't know at what point you discovered that maybe kwa Mungu ndio ninafaa kuenda.
2022.
Oh.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah.
What happened?
When I was in that partnership back in from 2020 to 2022.
Yeah.
I lived a very wild life.
Aha.
You see, I lived a very wild life because now the money is rolling in. All of a sudden you're making, let's say, all this money at once, and so you start drinking a lot. You start partying a lot. I mean, you're going to get a lot of women. So, you know, these are the normal pitfalls a lot of guys get. And one of the best decisions I ever made was that ilifika mahali venye tu nilianza kuona signs that partnership imeanza kuleta issues. Again, my mom forced me. Acha niseme forced because she bugged me so much. Start going to church. When I started going to church, now from 2022, trajectory ilianza sasa kupika. So I like nilikaa chini nika-analyze, and that is hiyo ndio ile point naweza sema where we switched gears.
Mom again.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. Zulu.
Yeah.
Mukali, when I bought my first car, and I finished buying, I'm driving out, the seller runs after me and kama kitu amesahau lakini ananinongonezea.
Anakueleza nini?
Aniambia, you know, my brother, everybody I sold this car for the last 3 or 4 guys, they did not survive it.
Subaru ama Audi.
Bro, tutaki ile example sana.
Oh wow.
I mean, it makes me sad. Guys cannot handle this machine. Don't get excited with this machine. I connected that example ya amesema, sometimes you're being taken slow so that you don't outgrow yourself. And I saw a car written, don't drive faster than your guardian angel can fly.
Ooh, yes.
You know, sometimes for him, the guardian angel was mom, guardian angel was sis, and he has finally gone back to their pace. Telling them, be spiritually grounded. Don't be just out there clubbing. And that mom is one of the strong women, I think, who have been able to steer his life. I want to close this point by saying, Khalif has sacrificed his pain to spare you yours. Before you say, poor guy, ask yourself, can I survive what he survived? And I like the point he concluded by saying, the freest man is one who has surrendered to the perfect master. It's not the blue label, the muzinga, that comes with ululations and girls shaking. That gives you, blue label, sorry.
Unajua aje wewe. Wewe unajua aje hii maneno.
You know, hiyo kileto kwa meza ubai kukaribia. You know, uko kuna mwenyewe.
Yes.
Just to say, ati ame find out that is being rooted in your values. For him, is God, is Christianity, whatever it is for you, don't look at the money and the hype. Look at the rootedness. Before a seed grows up, it first grows down to be anchored. Before money comes, wealth comes, make sure you are anchored.
Absolutely. I love that, and thank you so much. You can go ahead. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Thank you so much for braving and for coming and for sharing your story. Loads of insights and wisdom, right, guys? Yeah, to learn a lot. Yeah, and do not regret that you found Jehovah late because it was not late. Late according to whom?
You're right.
You know, it was your perfect time. You're on the perfect trajectory. I just wish you all the very best and keep talking to people. Let nobody shut you down because you're a star. Thank you guys for coming through. My audience, asanteni sana. Nyinyi ni wa awesome. And my audience at home as well, thank you for always tuning in every single Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. See you next week, same time, same place from me and the team and the crew. Adios.